Today we will learn how to tell time on an analog clock. It is important to note that the minute hand is longer than the hour hand. You can remember this by looking at the amount of letters in the words. The word minute has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters, whereas the word hour only has 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. It is also important to know that you always say the hour first. So, for example, on this clock, where the hour hand is pointing to the 7, the hour will be 7. Since the minute hand is pointing to the 12, that means that it's 7 o'clock. Whenever you have the minute hand pointing to the 12, the time will end in o'clock. From there, the minute hand can move around the clock. So if the hour remained on 7 and the minute hand began to move, it would add 5 each time it hit a new number. So say the minute hand moved to 1, the time would be 7:05. If it got to the 2, the time would be 7:10. So for minutes, it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then it goes back to o'clock. So once the minute hand reached the 12 again, the hour hand would change to the 8, and it would now be 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock would look like this, with the minute hand still on the 12, but the hour hand now on 8. So, as an example, looking at this clock, can you tell what time it is? If you said it was 2:45, you would be correct. If it's easier for you than counting by fives, you can just multiply the number 9 by 5 and get 45 for your minute number. So the answer would be 2:45. Now that you have learned how to tell the time when the minute hand is on a number, you need to learn how to tell the time when the minute hand is between a number. So, for example, you can see all these dashes between the numbers. They each represent 1 minute. So as you can see on this clock, the hour hand is on the 5, so we know that the time is going to start with 5, but then the minute hand is between the 2 and the 3. So if you look closely, you know that the 2 represents 10, so you can add the little dashes between. It would be 10, 11, 12, so the time would be 5:12. Now that we've learned how to tell the time when the minute hand is between two numbers, we need to learn how to tell the time when the hour hand is between two numbers. So in this example, we're just going to focus on the hour hand, and you can see that it's between the 4 and the 5. Because it's in front of the 4 and hasn't reached the 5 yet, our hour number is still going to be 4. A lot of students struggle with this concept, but it isn't too hard. You can see that now that we've added the minute hand, it's on the 6, meaning the time is 4:30. Because 6 times 5 is 30. This makes sense because the hour hand is right in between the 4 and the 5, and 30 minutes is half of an hour. Since 30 minutes is half of an hour, 4:30 can also be referred to as a 4:30. This also works for all the other times that end in 30. So now, to see how much you learned, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to see if you can figure out the time on this clock. You may pause the video if you need more time. The time on the clock is 5:55. Did you get that time? If not, I'll list a couple reasons why you might have made a mistake. While trying to figure out the time on this clock, did you make sure to look at the right number that the hour hand was pointing to? Maybe you thought the time was 6:55 instead, since the hour hand was between the 5 and the 6. This can be a common mistake. Just always remember that you're always looking at the number that the hour hand is in front of, not behind. Additionally, did you mix the hands up? Maybe you thought the hour hand was the minute hand, and the minute hand was the hour hand. This can also be common, especially when looking at clocks quickly. Just remember that the rule is that the hour hand is the short one, because it's a shorter word. So the time is 5:55, but maybe because of that you thought the time was 11:27. I hope this video was helpful in learning to tell time. Thanks for watching!